Listen, you got to come see us when you come to New York, VP Biden.
I will.
It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
Do y'all remember that? Joe Biden when he was at the Breakfast Club? Well, that's the person that's going to be representing America at the Juneteenth celebration, being invited by a black church, an AME church. And my point is, that is so disrespectful to invite Joe Biden. Now, they have more problems with Donald Trump, allegedly, or for whatever the emotion is. But here Joe Biden does this, and you still invite him out. That's where the Democrats have so much of a challenge, is because they do not have their hands on the pulse. The Democrats are struggling in every aspect of American life. They're struggling with the black community, and that's an example of it right there. They're struggling, if you can recall, the campaign of the Kamala Harris campaign, right? And how everything about that was women shaking their tails on the stage, nothing but rappers. That was the campaign. Something we've never seen before. Over $2 billion spent on foolishness. And we have Joe Biden, you got Kamala Harris. They can't get out of their way. Everything that they put their hands to is going to south. The borders, we know how bad that was. And because of that, because of their errors, because of their mismanagement, because of potential theft with the finances that has come in so many different areas, we have Doge that's proving that. And that is one of the reasons why majority Democrats, we got some Republicans in there too, that's obvious, but nevertheless is being called out, is being pointed to, and it is also being disrespectful. What Joe Biden said is a disrespect to the American people. We are as weak as our weakest link, and if our politicians feel that they can be that way with one of us, it can be that way with all of us. That is a problem. And also you can look at the Democrats and how they're struggling with the LGBTQ+. They're struggling with that because all of what they put out there was not strong enough. They didn't think it out. Everything that they put, look, they are the losing team. They're losing, they're hemorrhaging voters. The voters are just falling apart. Don't want to be bothered. Trump is wiping them across the board. Now, the disrespect that the Democrats have brought forth, one person, based on Joe Biden and based on being called out, I want you to see this clip. Check this clip out.
A nigga wake-up call?
No.
It is an incident where a person of color forgets that they are of color and are reminded rather brutally by an unexpected act of racism. Have you ever had any of those?
Oh, brother.
I'm just asking. You think you've ever had
Well, I'm acutely aware, Charlemagne, that I'm a black person, just as you are a black person. And when Joe Biden insulted you by saying, you ain't really black, we don't know whether or not you want to vote for me or vote for Donald Trump, it seems to me that should have been a wake-up call on your part. How dare this guy come in here and insult you, a black man, and tell you you got to think a certain kind of way? I'm amazed that you weren't mad about that.
Now, that was Larry Elder. Larry Elder, the way that he spoke to Charlemagne is an approach that I believe that more and more younger black men are taking. Now, it might be 20%, 25%, somewhere in that area, in my opinion, but that group is leading. That group is being strong. That group said we don't want to be a part of the Make It Rain crowd with the Kamala Harris. That group is saying we're not going to be in agreement with the alphabet community policies that's there. That group has walked away. That group is not marching. That group is not making a whole lot of noise with their mouthpieces, but they are with their actions. Many of them may be red pills. They may also be known as Sigmas, but they are a different batch. And a lot of things that are occurring is showing up in their approach. Through that same process with Joe Biden, I don't know if many of you all can recall, but he's really caused the problem in the relationships between the African American community and the Latino community. He promised the black politicians, he promised them so much. When they met with him, he said, I'm not giving you anything. I don't owe you anything. But if anything that you need, go to the Latinos. That's what Joe Biden said. That information was put out there. And whether the politicians win at Joe Biden or not, that's not the deal. The deal is the young voters did not forget. The young voters went after Joe Biden by not participating, by not talking to him, by walking away. Those same young voters stepped out of the elections altogether and did not vote. The did not vote was so important for the Democrats because that did not vote at one time was ones that voted. They didn't vote for Trump, they just didn't vote. That's the group you're not going to win back. The black women, you're not going to win them back either because they are offended. That is an issue for the Democrats. And it is an issue whereas they are playing the same hand that's tied. Yeah, tied hand. And that hand that they're playing is not working anymore. It's all said and done for them based on the team that they had in place. But now, how are they going to bring increase? How are the Democrats going to bring increase? Their spokesperson is Joe Biden now. What happened to Barack Obama? Michelle, based on this Juneteenth celebration. They are no longer the party of choice for many Americans. They're falling apart across the board. They may not get in the near future another Democratic person elected in any state other than California. And I would be surprised if California is going to be able to hang in there. But who's going with the Democrats? You're going to find the Democrats, their group, which would be the LGBT community. You're going to find the Democrats along with the black church that celebrate and support the LGBTQ community, such as Jamal Bryant. But I'm going to say this to you. The church has left the building. What they got going on over there with Jamal and William Murphy and a few others, the people of God have left that building. They're not there. And you can see it. You can see there is no spirit over there. You can see there's no enthusiasm over there. Since when the church has not been able to pull together a march? The people have walked away, and it's all because of the attitudes of those Democrats. Have a good day.